This is the Time Is Now podcast, presented by IRG.
Welcome to the Time Is Now podcast, hosted by your team at IRG. I am your host, Justin Villa. And today we got two people from the IRG team. We have Luis Victor Villalobos and Ruth Figueroa. And we are in a special location here in downtown. I mean, I say it all the time. I'm born and raised here, and I've seen an evolution of downtown. And I mean, it's crazy with the new projects and developments and things that are coming. I mean, the Apple Store, one of the biggest Apple stores, is coming in this area. And it's definitely been an interesting growth to an area that's needed it. And obviously, talking about those projects, we have a very special guest, Janine Sayago from Okan Tower. She is the Director of Sales, and we are happy to have you on the podcast. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much. I'm glad to be sitting here with you. Thank you for coming to see the project and learn more about what's happening in downtown.
And I think it's definitely an interesting project. I mean, we've known about the project for a little bit. It's not one that's recently launched, but I think it just has so many interesting aspects and components to it that make it interesting to investors and people who just want to learn about the Miami market.
I actually personally I love it because this is one of the projects that you see that they're going to reshape the skyline of Miami, because whenever I see the model that you have outside, and you see the top, and I just imagine being up there. Yeah. You're gonna tell us a little more about that. Yeah. But I imagine myself being on the top with the pool on the top. How many floors are there?
70.
Imagine that, being in a pool on a 70th floor with a, unimaginable view of the whole skyline of Miami.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's dig into the project, and I mean, give us a little bit of details of the project, what the project has to offer, and honestly, my favorite part, the backing of Hilton that it has. So, let's dig into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think you've already touched on some very important points. The iconic architecture. If Okan Tower were standing today, it would be the tallest tower in the entire state of Florida. Once it's built, it'll be the second tallest in downtown. So we're talking about a 902-foot tower, super tower, beautiful architectural design inspired by the shape of a tulip, which is actually...
That's what I love about it.
Yeah. It has
such a beautiful shape.
Yeah, it is.
It's great.
It has a beautiful story, and so the shape was inspired by the flower, the tulip, which is the national flower for Turkey, and the developer for this project is Turkish, and so it was a way to infuse the roots of the design into the actual architecture of the tower. 70-story tower. We are in the heart of downtown Miami. The location could not be more central.
Could not be better.
And
more
downtown.
appealing.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And we can talk more about the location. I mean, we could spend hours talking about what's happening in downtown Miami, but the tower itself will be, as you said, backed by the Hilton brand. So we have three main components to the tower. We'll have at the base of the tower a hotel component, a 5-star Hilton hotel. Then we'll have a component for short-term rentals or hotel residences. These will be units that will be exclusively managed and operated by the Hilton and will function essentially as the suites for the hotel. Mm-hmm. And those will start on the 36th floor. So imagine we have 36th floor and up. The views are incredible. And the short-term component will run from the 36th floor to the 50th floor. And then starting on the 51st floor, we have the creme de la creme. We have our sky residences, 163 units, essentially a boutique luxury building sitting on this incredible platform with the most magnificent views of downtown Miami. Private amenities for the sky residences, separate elevators, separate entrance, reception, 24-hour security, 24-hour valet service, and all of the services that a 5-star Hilton has to offer. Full service spa, dining.
In the residences.
In the residences. They will also have access to all of those services. So it's really a resort living in the heart of the urban core.
Tell me, the residences are going to be 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, or is that what it is?
Exactly. So we start with 1 bedrooms. We have 1 bedroom with a den. We have 2 bedrooms with a den.
Okay.
We have 3 bedrooms, 3 with den, and then our loft and penthouse collection, which are magnificent.
How big are the penthouses?
So we have our lofts. They're just under 4,000 square feet. These are 2-story lofts.
Wow.
So think of a house in the sky.
In the sky.
You have in your main living area 23-foot ceilings.
Oh, wow.
So these views are
That is
undescribable
luxury.
with words.
Yeah.
Just incredible views of Biscayne Bay, of the city. We are positioned 2 blocks off of Biscayne Bay, and because of our scale, we offer the most beautiful cityscape and water views that you can really get in downtown Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like back to your comment about the location. I mean, we truly are in the heart of downtown. We're so close to the One World Center. We're so close to the Bright Line, which now connects everybody to Orlando and soon Tampa. I mean, it's just we are in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
The arena is a couple of blocks from
Yeah,
here, too.
literally all the concerts, heat games that happen over there.
Exactly.
I mean, where Bayside is literally the same distance,
Everything
ultra,
to walking
everything.
distance. Everything to walking distance.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. And I think
Yes.
it's Miami has gotten to a point where driving to things and like public transportation, we're not the greatest. We're working on it, and the city is definitely trying to make its effort into becoming a public transportation.
Well, this whole area is going to be a walkable.
Exactly,
city,
but
you know?
exactly that's perfect. That's back to my point. I mean, you don't need to. You don't need to take out the car to go to some nice restaurants or nightlife or to a concert or heat game or everything is so close.
I have a friend that lives in Brickell, which is, started doing that before downtown. And I just met him a couple of days ago, and he said, it's been 3 years since I quit driving my car. My car is like in the parking
there,
lot. I mean, I'm just walking and using my scooter and stuff. And that's going to happen here too.
Absolutely.
People are, you might have your car, but you probably won't need it.
The usage will go down for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
cool.
The culture is definitely changing in
It is.
downtown or just in Miami in
but
general.
downtown is going to be major changes.
Very much, and it's what people are looking for. So we're having, with the changes and the growth that we're having as a young city, we have so many people moving from Chicago, from New York, from cities where they're used to this style of living. They're
Yes.
used to
Everything is walking.
everything
Yes.
is walkable, and that's what they're looking for.
But I want to ask you too, because you both are born and raised in Miami, right? We were just talking about how Miami has changed since my relationship with the city became late 70s. So I have not been living here, permanently, since then. But my coming and going to Miami, I have seen changes happening, major changes. And I remember back in the 80s, if you ever thought of living downtown, they would say you're crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and this is something that we have to demystify for people that, maybe are stuck with that
That mentality.
image or
yeah.
mentality
Yeah.
of the back in the 80s, even the 90s,
Yeah.
even the
Early
the
2000s,
early
Yeah,
2000s.
yeah, absolutely.
So this is what you were saying. The city has changed a lot, and there's a lot of changes still coming on. And this is downtown is going to be a totally different scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a wise spot to invest. And
Yeah,
this project is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I think it takes. I think it's all of South Florida, right? I don't think it's just downtown. I mean, I know Brickell.
Yeah,
we're used to these areas, Brickell, downtown, Edgewater, all along the coast, kind of being like really sketchy after 4:00, and we've seen that development downtown. I mean, you can go to a nice restaurant, go to your car at 2, 3 in the morning, and you're fine. It's definitely something that back to your point, I think it's an image that's kind of stuck in a lot of people's mind, right? It's that I don't want to be caught there after 4:00. No, it's changed.
Yeah, and somehow I think it is our responsibility to start, helping people change their mindset.
And I think if investors come to Miami and it's not just like I'm looking for Coral Gables because that's what they know, right? I think if they come to Miami and they experience the nightlife, they experience the walkability, they experience the growth, they see all the changes and the new developments that are coming. I mean, there's a reason, right? There's a reason to why these buildings are being built in downtown and Brickell and Edgewater. There's a reason why.
Right.
There's a reason why these developers have bought these lands over the last few years, because they've seen the vision of what's coming. So it's kind of molding these clients and their vision, helping them see clear what the future holds for downtown.
Yeah, I always say downtown is in my eyes, it's a no-fail zone as an investor right now in downtown Miami, or in Miami in general. So you have the urban core. So let's take Okan, for example. We're 1 block away from the Brightline station. The Brightline estimates over 5 million people will use the connection between Miami and Orlando just this year. You have, you're 2 blocks away from the arena, so you have the Miami Heat games, every major concert and event happening in the city. Ultra Music Festival just a few blocks away at Bayfront Park. We're across the street from the One World Center, which is 10 city blocks, 27 acres, over $4 billion invested, over $10 billion invested in downtown Miami, both from the public and private sector. You have so many developments. As you drive through downtown Miami, it's just one big construction zone. So you can almost, it's palatable at this point, the change. When a company like Apple decides to put one of their largest stores in history in the core of downtown Miami, it's because they've done their research. They know what's coming. And so they're seeing that future that is coming to, and I always say it's a young city. We're just in the midst of such growth. We're a city that has such a spirit of forward thinking. And so I think we're living in a very historic time in Miami, and it's a very exciting time to invest in Miami and to live and work. Absolutely. Today. Absolutely. It's an amazing opportunity.
Talking about construction, movement and stuff. I mean, you cannot talk about what you see across the street from this gallery. There is, thousands of tons of metal and concrete being that was already poured there. Tell us about that. How is it construction coming along?
Good. We just had a couple months ago, we did our foundation pour. It's third largest foundation pour in Florida history. So it was quite the endeavor and amazing to watch. 1,200 cement trucks lined up for 36 hours straight.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was very cool.
1,200.
1,200 camiones. 36 hours straight of continuous pour.
Oh my gosh.
So we're on our way. It's a very exciting time. We're slated to hit the 12th floor podium level by October and straight vertical from there.
A lot of people, the first stage of any construction, it's unpalpable because people don't see what's going on.
Right.
You just see the sidewalks, the barriers on the sidewalks, and now people say, okay, when are they going to start building this thing? How long is it going to take? And then they don't know that the first stage is, you don't see it because it's going downwards.
Yes.
It took them, how many pillars or how many?
200 and over 280 piles went into the ground, 150 feet deep. So that's quite I don't do the construction side of things, but it's quite the project. It takes time. Florida has especially South Florida has some of the strictest
Construction
codes and regulations for construction, thankfully. And they have become stricter in the last couple of years. And so it's a long process to get to where we are now. And now we're in that run where you'll see that progress.
But that's good for investors to know that we are sure that this is quality construction that's being done, and it's not something like you just want to go ahead and do it, but something that's doing right. It's been done right. Tell us a little bit about restrictions on the the building. Are going to be like short-term restrictions, or is it?
So I think what's so unique about Okan Tower is that we offer two different components. So really depending on what the investor, the buyer is looking for, what best meets their needs as far as their investment, their family, we have something for everyone. And so we are a tower that is offering a short-term option. However, the difference is we are grounded and rooted, operated by Hilton. We're operated by a company that's been doing service and hospitality for over 100 years. They have perfected how to run essentially a short-term business, a nightly rental for over 100 years. And so it's the opportunity in our short-term component, those hotel residences. We offer studios, we offer 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. These are units that the Hilton will manage exclusively. So if I called the Hilton tomorrow, if we were built, and I needed a 1-bedroom suite the first week of October, they are going to book me in that component of the tower.
Okay.
I'll receive all of the services of the Hilton. I book through the Hilton. I pay the Hilton. They do absolutely everything.
It would be transparent to the
exactly. And for the owner,
guest.
They have a property that is in the best possible hands. And so for the owner, they're able to use their property up to 180 days out of the year, 21 days consecutively. So it gives a lot of opportunity to come and visit, spend time in Miami. And when they're away, it's a completely hands-off property that the Hilton will do absolutely everything for.
They will just chickling receive their money. So you're like being partners with Hilton.
Essentially,
somehow.
you're a partner with Hilton, correct? And Hilton obviously isn't doing this for charity. I would love to say that this is their charitable division, but they're doing this to turn a profit as well. I see that as a benefit because they're going to do everything in their power to maximize those returns for themselves as a company, but for each individual owner as well.
Any special perks for the investors?
Yeah, they get to be part of automatically the Hilton Honors Gold membership, and so they can use those perks anywhere in the world. Exactly.
That's definitely a plus.
Yeah, all over the world. And Hilton's a brand that's known worldwide. It's over. They have over 173 million members in that honors program around the entire world. And so
they have a great community of potential clients.
Exactly.
Now, I want to make sure that it's clearly understood. Please reaffirm that. You said that the owner can only use the unit for 180 days a year. That's only for that segment of the building, right?
Correct.
The high sky, what do you call it?
The sky residences. That's something completely different. So we have two separate components. So the sky residences are a traditional residential component. They're independent of the Hilton, but they offer that lifestyle that the resort offers because you have access to all of the services of the Hilton. So for the sky residences, the restrictions, you can rent them up to 4 times per year, a minimum of 60-day lease term. So you have some flexibility. If you're someone that comes to Miami seasonally, for example, and you're here 3 to 6 months out of the year, and you like the idea of having a property that you can lease out and maybe do short-term leasing or corporate leasing when you're not here, you can still do that with the residences, self-manage them. You have private amenities on the 12th floor and on the 70th floor. You have access to all of the services that the Hilton offers, the spa, the restaurant. You can order room service. So it's a hybrid that offers the privacy of a traditional residence with all of the perks of the hotel.
But you said it's self-managed.
Self-managed for those.
Can you have Hilton manage them for you?
So no, for that component, it's self-managed, and then for the hotel residences, those would be managed by the Hilton.
And to enjoy these benefits, by when are you calculating is going to be done?
To be
this
finished, we're
project? Yes.
estimating for the end of 2026.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I think, I mean, once they start to go up, it's what, like a week per floor
Yeah,
is basically
about
the
a week.
estimate.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So, I mean, the hard part's the going down, the getting the
Yes,
concrete, and then
that's
once they
it.
start to go up, it's cake.
And she was talking about the penthouses and the lofts. How many lofts and how many penthouses this
Yeah.
building is going to have?
So we have 4 amazing penthouses, and we have 4 amazing corner loft units. The exciting thing about these units is that they're one of one. They're very unique properties. If someone is looking for a unique opportunity in the core of Miami, this is it. We have the opportunity to even work with the architect to do some specification to the buyer's needs. And so it really is a hands-on opportunity to create something tailored to your needs with the most amazing views. Like I said, those 23-foot ceilings, few and far between will you come across something like that.
Tell me a little bit about finishes.
Yes.
So all of the units will come finished with flooring, the Italian kitchens. We have a couple of different finishes to choose from so that you can select according to your taste. Quartz countertops, porcelain tile flooring. We have beautiful bathroom finishes, Italian cabinets, polished tile on the walls, and again, you can kind of customize to your taste.
The condo hotel component is what you call it. Is that is fully furnished also?
Correct. Those units will come furnished, and that is directly through the Hilton. The Hilton is essentially passing along their purchasing power for each individual owner, and so the packages for the studio it's $25,000, for the one bedroom $35,000, 2-bedroom $45,000, and that will come completely turnkey the day that you close on your unit. That unit is fully ready to participate in the hotel program.
Awesome.
Well,
I think it's been a very informative podcast. I think we have a lot of details and information that we can definitely share to our investors and clients and those just interested in the Miami market. I mean, if you want to learn more, you definitely know where to contact us: Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you name it. But we want to say thank you, Janine. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. We know that you have a busy schedule, and we appreciate you hopping on the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you to you, Justin, and the team, and it's always a pleasure.
Awesome.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, guys. Remember, the time is now.
This is the Time Is Now podcast, presented by IRG.